Look at you yummy mixed plate with kaftan tabbouleh. Today we are looking at a Bitcoin price of $63,000, friends, but I've actually got a special surprise for you. You see, Bitcoin is on its red candle here, but the spotlight is starting to come to Ethereum. You've been watching this ETH BTC chart every single day with me this whole time. I even remember we were so close back here in January 1st of this year, the second week of January. We were so close to flipping, and I really did think that was the final fake out, that we went down, friends, and we went, oh, okay, now it's time to go up. You see this little fake out part? You break the low, now it's time to go. I really did think that was going to come, but instead we roll over again. So something came out with Bitcoin. That's why, friends, even these ratios, they're safe in terms of the volatility, but you really got to be careful when it comes to trying to predict markets in the short term. Most people just aren't cut out for it. You need a system. You got to do back testing. You have to take your stops out. Most people just get completely wrecked doing it. That's why the most important thing to do is to just take more time. That's it. Play the longer term time frame. Now we're watching this, friends. Let me actually go down here and just show you on a 15-minute chart. I mean, it's 15 minutes, of course, are deceiving, but it's nice to see ETH BTC finally go up. Now, this price, by the way, is still pathetic. It's 0.051. Just to show you, friends, when the ETH BTC was 0.051, it was 2,600 days ago. Literally, it hit here in March 2017. Ouch. 2,600 days. Wow. So people who bought here or above have been trapped pretty much for a long time. Man, that's crazy, friends. Just to kind of show you, man, how difficult it is to actually outperform Bitcoin. It really is tough. And if you want to know the real stats, quickly to tell you, for the USD prices, there is about a 20% chance that a coin you hold will break its high in a second cycle. All right, that's the US dollar. So chance to break the all-time high, 20%. But here's the thing, right? Most of those broke under the all-time high. Almost all of them did, and then went below it anyway. So who cares if you broke your all-time high, right? Because, for example, Cardano, yeah, he broke its all-time high of $1.10 or something, went to $3, but then it comes back down to 30 cents anyway. You see what I mean? So it's crazy. Now, it's a higher floor from the previous bear market low, but you don't feel too good, do you? It's a long time. I mean, technically it looks good, but you don't feel good because you've been waiting 6, 7, 8 years. You still can't cross it. For example, I know everyone in HEXY community talks about 50 cents. It would be like Hex maybe going to 60 cents, but we're still in the year 2028 and Hex is back down to 20 cents. That's roughly the zone here. It's actually less than that. It's back down to 10 cents in 2028. Now, here's the thing. From today, you're I'll take it, but you're going to feel so good watching it all the way. That's if the chart patterns repeat again. We don't know. Friends. Remember, diminishing gains, you never know. They might print more money. We'll see what happens. But that's why it's tough. Now, what I just told you was the US dollar pricing chances, 20%. If you want a coin to break its all-time high from its first cycle versus Bitcoin, okay, its BTC ratio, every coin is 2% chance. Literally a 2% chance, not joking. That's how rare it is. In fact, there's nothing that's actually been able to consistently do it. Nothing. You had Doge, which popped, but then Doge had a bit of a poopy time because what ends up happening is it comes back. This is the Doge chart against Bitcoin. Look at this, friends. See, Doge is really a miracle unicorn. Doge is, wow, it broke its all-time high back here, 2014. Elon Musk, and now it comes back down and it's around the all-time high again. That's literally, friends, I'm not joking. You don't have any other examples. You simply don't. For example, I can show you, Cardano. This is Cardano chart. Look at this. Cardano couldn't break its all-time high against Bitcoin ratio from 2017. This is 2017. So in 2021, it couldn't do it. And now it's come back down back to the bottom of the range. Just to show you, man, it's a tough game, friends, because Bitcoin has product market fit. It is truly the bear market hedge of crypto. It is the market. It's solidified itself as that. It's the only thing that can rally in a market. It's a spear. So all these other coins, it's hard, friends, because the coins, they have a leader and a founder. They get rich. They get the glory. But then the industry is moving so fast. The product market fit needed to cater to the audience is shifting. It's shifting so fast. We're inventing new use cases, discovering them, and it's very hard, no pun intended, subscribe, bell button, or it's very hard for someone who's a founder and leader to constantly be ahead of the curve. Very difficult. They can look if they become a main character, that means they're really ahead of the curve in one season. A lot of people talk about, for example, Richard Hart, Do Kwon, really ahead of the curve. You know, people want stable coins, people want yield. Okay, it's all in the same part. Also, the guy invented Limpers DAO. There's also ahead of the curve. Many of these people like that, friends. But eventually, right, what ends up happening is you get this diminishing gain factor because it is what it is. Okay, it's very, very tough to just constantly be that unicorn. No one can pretty much do it, friends. It's insanely difficult. In fact, no one can really fill those gaps. That's why we get new main characters. We get new people who have a vision. For example, you might have some AI coins completely trash, friends. Eric Wall, I read Eric Wall's thing. I actually thank him for doing that. He read about BitTensor Tau. So with AI coins, why they're all fluff is they waste so much energy to check whether the thing is decentralized or not. Whereas something that's centralized can it's so much more efficient just to do something, you know what I mean? Just to do an AI calculation, for example. Because these decentralized AI stuff, there's so much loss of energy just to check are you decentralized or not and moving stuff around, okay? That's why blockchains are really inefficient. That's why AI is a one season thing. It's going to be pretty much poopy at the very end. But a lot of people are getting excited. That's all that matters, okay? Now, I want to show you the altcoin dominance chart quickly, friends. You can see we had this dagger down and we are still grooving sideways along. Remember, it all comes down to that Ethereum BTC price. We need this thing to go up. Also, friends, just to remind you, the classic meme, 50 weeks to shake out the weak hands, right? Which is exactly what Richard Hart was basically saying, 50 weeks after launch, and then everybody's pretty much wrecked enough for us to go up. Well, today marks the 50-week point from PulseChain launch, which is it's just crazy how literally on the day, okay, it's not PulseChain and PulseX, they're up 2%. Literally, yay, 2%. There's your rally, friends. You drop all the way down, you get crushed, you're up 2%. So let's have some fun there. But it's interesting, right? ETH BTC starts going up. So a lot of people, friends, I don't know where this there's a common narrative theme that I started the talking point, but it's not my talking point, friends. It's an observation. And it was PulseChain is leverage on Ethereum. Now, if you've been watching my show, I've been saying that, oh yeah, somebody said that. But now there's a lot of people on Twitter, they're like, who said that? Who's putting this fake stuff, fake stuff? So they don't know, friends, that this is not me talking. This is an observation from the market. We are leverage on Ethereum. ETH BTC goes down, our sentiment is always garbage. What people do is, though, they'll see ETH BTC going down and they'll see us have a pop-up. And they go, see, we're not correlated at all. And then we fade back down. So what you're actually seeing is ETH BTC is a spear, and when we pop up, it's a deviation, okay? Because you can even go back and check the ETH BTC chart, and you can go back to the PulseChain launch, right? So PulseChain, friends, launched around here, okay? We're still green. However, this is where PulseChain launched, okay? But because PulseChain launched and ETH BTC is just in a bad sentiment, look what comes next, all right? Look what comes next. That's pretty much it. So you didn't know, right? So you go back in time, you're like, oh, should I hold my PulseChain or should I buy more? Well, you're like, well, if you think ETH BTC was going low, you should have been exiting. So you don't really know the future, but I'm just showing you that. Okay, but by the way, this is really tough. Why, friends? Because it was a green weekly super trend here. That's why it was difficult. Okay, that's why it was really, really difficult, because it was a green ETH BTC and on the weekly chart, and so you're still following the trend. It's just very unfortunate that it ends up coming back down. And obviously what we're looking for is some sort of friendship here to flip this green so we can actually continue, okay? A flippening would be 0.16. I don't know if we're going to get this, friends. Probably not going to get it. I feel like they only get an ETH BTC flippening in that next cycle when maybe Ethereum finally do sharding. They maybe finally make the mainnet Ethereum with super, super cheap transactions, and that's pretty much what kicks everything into overdrive. But you never know. We'll see. Also got to remind you of this, right? There's been a few Soylana coins that have been rugging, friends. This is very unfortunate, okay? So this unfortunate person, okay? Look, you have to be with a strong community that you trust. This unfortunate person lost $73,000 overnight because a Soylana coin Tom rugged unexpectedly. This is his wallet. As you can see, friends, here, this is pretty much it. Minus 71,000 over one night. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, man. And as you can see, it's pretty much his whole portfolio. He's got $4,000 left. So we don't know why. I don't know why Habib, who's this gentle friend, he bought this coin with 70 grand. I think I'm not sure if someone have checked his wallet. He either had it in there. He never took out profit, but this coin was only it was less than 7 days old. So that's why, man, it's really tough, friends. It's really tough. Now, why Tomcat? Why are these coins appearing? Well, remember there's dog with hat. So then a continuation of the roller coaster. People saying, okay, now we've done dogs, let's go to cats. So now there's cats. There's Popcat, there's Tom, there's all these other little cats. They're trying to Mew and Mika and these little cats, right? On Soylana chain. However, what you'll see is when the market tries to go higher and rejects, and they make these like either lower highs or failed highs, you end up seeing people get spooked. And you see the first whale people get spooked and they crush the prices lower. As you get to see, right, with this community, this unfortunate, the evil scum dev rugger behind Tom who did this, they have, friends, these scammers, right, they are very on the ball with greed and fear. Very on the ball. These people are paper hands. They're truly paper hands. And in terms of like, it goes up a bit, they're all in. It goes down a bit, they're all out. Okay, they're like this. That's why they're evil scum scammers. If they just bought and held normal stuff like normal people, they wouldn't have to be in this situation where they're just unfortunately putting bad karma on themselves and their grandchildren. But looking at this scenario, right, these people are starting to rug. Why are they starting to rug? This happens every time, by the way. I've seen this. If you've been around in crypto, you know this. When the things start running out of buyers, you start to see the first jitter rugs. And it's the first one or two that spook everybody. So when one starts rugging, friends, the others start rugging. Because they're like, oh, this one rugged, this one's going down. And then everyone gets this fear that they're not going to be around anymore. That's why you need someone powerful who can cop hits on the chin, who says, I don't care how low the price is, the market is wrong, we're still going to be here, okay? Well, you need that conviction. But when a coin's like 7 days old, man, you've given scammers, pretty much gifters, like money quickly. They're like, screw this, let's just go make a new one next time. So they don't want to stick with the same idea in the new one because they're scammers themselves and they're greedy, evil scum, and they're marketing and they think like people with really short-term mindsets. So if they have a chart that's going down, they don't want to sit through the pain, friends. These people they're full on schizo. They don't know how to deal with pain or adversity in their life at all. So as soon as things go a bit tough, they walk out pretty much. Okay. So these people are pure evil scum. That's why when they're in charge, when they're the devs and the community leaders behind projects and things start to go a bit sketchy, they're out. That's why, friends, if you've been following, for example, DickWifButt and Landwolf, most of my language out there, see, a lot of the Landwolf community people, friends, they're actual pure meme coiners, right? So here's the Landwolf chart, okay? Remember, 615, the divine plan. So we have the targets up here, 1 billion, the dream, right? But even down in this zone, if you're watching my videos, I will always speak to everyone in the community, every meme coin community. I'll go, look, man, be careful. If Ethereum goes down, all right, it's going to feel bad, but we're still here. We're not going anywhere. We're literally not going anywhere. Ethereum, try send it to zero. Good luck. This has happened time and time again. In fact, man, if you held through to 2022, you can hold through anything. This is nothing. This is literally taking candy from a baby. So, but people need to hear that. But unfortunately, with these grifters and anonymous people, they're too scared to put their face out. Why? Because they're evil scammers, because they're going to just go on to the next 10 projects next week. So you never get that type of confidence out there. And that's why you have a community that's flimsy and never really makes it. I want to show you this fractal as well, friends. This is like a Bitcoin fractal. Now, I actually remember this, friends, because I spent a lot of time back in 2018, 19. I went through every 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, like every 4-hour candle since its inception to try to see candle pattern over and over and over. So when I see blockchain backer, shout out to him. When I see him bring him out, I know exactly the time period he's looking at and where he's trying to like fractal it, because basically showing like, oh yeah, there's the Elliott waves and there's extreme volatility and fear and greed and stuff. Okay. By the way, this type of stuff, it's not as accentuated in the stock market, even though there are there. It's harder. Why? Because stock market has up only DCA Ponzi. It's people DCA buying who can't get out and they print money to save it. So you never really complete these things all the way, okay? But in crypto, we don't have that yet, right? It's still wild, wild west. That's why when it's wild, wild west, it's pure markets. But it will fade over time pretty much. But here's the thing. This is where we are right now. You can see this, right? We're in this zone part. We might get, you never know, man. We could get a little retest of Bitcoin back to the low and then up only, maybe. And I just got to remind you, if we do get this, friends, look, we don't have to, man. What if Bitcoin poops the bed? What if Bitcoin goes down to 50K, 44K? And I'll be just saying, well, it did drop 39% in 3 halvenings in a row. So if we got a $44,000 Bitcoin, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. But then we have to go up only from that point. Okay, so nothing is 100% guaranteed. But if we do get these, friends, just be careful, because Bitcoin rising probably might coincide with another season that appears later on, more news. But this doesn't mean like, okay, yeah, we're gonna like keep going up forever. It might mean that slingshot might start to move. That's what we got to be careful about. You guys remember my famous the slingshot, friends. This is pretty much what we're watching. This is all we need to see. Look at the slingshot. It's following one for one. The slingshot. This is Bitcoin on the bottom. This is the top. Remember, if Bitcoin goes up and slingshot goes up and Bitcoin comes down low high, but this thing keeps shooting up, we know it's end of times. You just never know with these, man. We're just going to wait and see. Now, I want to give a special shout out to 9inch Exchange, friends. 9inch has coins that are popping. You have 9inch, PoorPleb, BBC. BBC did like a huge 20x pump as well. I even made a post here to show you PoorPleb, which is right here. Now, this is the PoorPleb, friends. PoorPleb Pulse ratio, okay? The PoorPleb PLS ratio. It's up 4.9x from the low. If you were here, friends, remember, you all remember this thing. Well, I remember when it first went down here, and I was saying, look, it's in the cheap zone, but these things don't go up only. They don't just go, they don't do that straight away. They usually take time to rinse out. It's just funny, right? Funny or friendly. We are now back out of that zone, back into the middle. That's nice. We're starting to mean revert back. So PoorPleb, remember one of the original meme coins. There's 9inch as well, friends. 9inch, PoorPleb, BBC, they all have the same chart. They're all liquidity bonded. It's all part of the HEXY Bastard narrative. Remember, man, everyone gave up on HEXY Bastard. It's funny. Everyone really believed the FUD. They said, he's taking your money. He's gone to Dubai. He's taking a holiday. He's never coming back. And this is the first time, friends. See, I looked at the industry. Remember, everybody, like, we had even more Richard Hart FUD. I was looking at everything. I was like, no, man, we had a big exodus from paper hand sacrifices from 9inch. When they exit, the price sentiment goes down, and then that's it. People just need a rest. That's it. They just need a rest. They take a break. They come back. A new campaign. Prices are higher around crypto. Unfortunately, PulseChain speed's still low. That sucks. But you just get to see, friends, these things take turns. So there's different ecosystems, right? I call them subcultures, right? Because PulseChain is an alternative layer 1. It is an alternative layer 1 to Ethereum, okay? It is an altcoin. So it has a 200,000 people strong community, okay? So everything in there, you can't just say, oh, that's another community. You just call them sub-communities because they're just smaller in numbers, you know? So that's pretty much, you have Tangang, Atropa, we have the Icosa, we have the Gofurs, we have, you know, all these ones out there. You have, and 9inch as well, one of them. So when you're looking at them, you just got to think about how I'm thinking, which is what I'm saying. I wish they all just go up together. They don't. Actually, what happens is there's always ones in the lead. Okay, you've had a PDI, Teddy Bear, Tropa narrative. It goes up. Now it's actually starting to rotate back down. Then we had the Tangang resurgence, the Tangang renaissance. I made the videos on that. That's fantastic. Remember, friends, we went to PDI, Teddy Bear, Tropa moving up, then Tangang stuff. Now it's like, oh, 9inch is coming on. It launched the meme coin with BitBoy doing the bro coin. You see this is starting to take turns. That's why we're just wondering. By the way, we also, at the very first one, we had Gofurs. So Gofurs is now like further along that cycle. And trust me, this is probably going to happen to all of them. It's just crazy how they're all moving out of sync. So I guess you might be wondering, oh, I wonder if the play is to buy the stuff not moving now. Well, luckily for you, maybe you have a friend named Zoe here. Maybe he's got an Icosa chart right here, which is leverage on Hex. You actually see the Icosa Hex ratio, which I'm going to show you as this loads right now. Right here, friends. So this would be huge. If this gets a 4 or 5x on Hex, and Hex does a 5, that's a 25 in this first. That's huge. Imagine Hex does a 20x, and you're getting a 5 on that. That's 100. From me, just showing you, friends, these are the things not moving. Also, I know it's crazy, but during this time and these lower prices, you might want to accumulate Gofurs. Obviously, still love Gofurs, friends. Nothing's changed with it. There was some FUD stuff. I'm actually going to show you something very interesting. But first, let's interject, friends. I'm going to show you this actually funny video going. POV, DickWifButt flips dog with hat. Okay, this is Ansem, friends. Ansem, one of the main characters of crypto, literally in a club, peaking moment, euphoric. He basically implied, I think he made a post saying he made 5 million and now he's trying to turn it into 100 million. I think so. That's a man tweeting around, checking Twitter Roonies, out in the middle of the club. They're all on orange juice. They're all going to enjoy further orange juice later on. But just showing you, friends, look, man, you just see the story form. He hits peak status. He has a boxing fight. And now there's a meme like he's got no hands because he lost a fight. I made a post. I actually showed you like it's possible that the Soylana season peaked, finished off with his fight. That was it. Pretty much concludes it. It's kind of crazy how these things happen, man. He makes it like all the way to a fight and then loses at the top. But loses at the top. I mean, the coins went up in price. Who cares whether he lost or not? So that's just a funny thing to think about, okay? Now, I want to show you something interesting, right, related to Dipcatcher and Gofurs, okay? So Dipcatcher makes a post here. He basically says, I wonder if the price of PulseChain would be higher now if the sacrifice addresses had not started hammering the buy button. So what he's basically looking at, he's looking at, this is, friends, the Pulse to ETH ratio versus ETH. It just rejected all the way down. Unfortunately, this is like a minus, this distance, by the way, down to here, it is around the minus 85% against Ethereum. Now, I made a post here. I'm going to show you a few things interesting, just so you know. Okay, so I've seen many people try to jam markets over the years. It never works if it doesn't want to be there. So that's something you get to learn, friends. You spend enough time in markets like me. You can't force the market where it doesn't want to go. I've seen funds try stuff. I've seen them in markets try stuff. I've seen them like, yes, try all this money inserted. And I've watched the market fade. I've seen it happen. I've seen some tremendous things, friends. You want to know what's funny? I've seen, you can actually see some charts. We've seen central banks do stuff and the market fades them. Explain that one for me. Literally, central banks who control the money printer, we've seen them fail in their moves. We've actually seen them. But this is an extreme moment in history, but it can happen, right? The market rejects it. And then the only way for them to like actually make the market go where they want to go is they have to do the hard stuff, which is like, you know, restrict monetary policy and cut the spending and do all this stuff. Okay, that's crazy. So it was a good try though for PulseChain sacrifice address. He tried, I think, look, what he did was he tried to insert, like, it's time, let's give it the push, right? But it didn't sustain anything. And the prices obviously we're looking at are the ones we've seen here. This is pretty much it. Now, log chart is just pure code, friends. Log chart is pure code. This is what it actually looks like. We just, wow, it's deep, man. We're back into corrupt SEC levels. Ouch. That's why, like, I've noticed, like, friends, talking about bottoms, this is kind of useless, but I've noticed there's a complete change in all the PulseChain influencer language. I've noticed it. Nobody is Moonboy anymore. And I'm not saying, oh, bottoms in. I'm just saying they're starting to wake up. They're starting to wake up. They're wrestling with it. Because every altcoin, okay, on PulseChain is having its time to shine. Everyone. And they're making higher floors and they're outperforming this thick liquidity stuff. Market cap matters, friends. Market cap matters. And like you get to see, right? Okay, everyone's pooping on Gofurs right now. Guess what? They might come back. But now, HEXY Bastard and 9-inch, friends. You know that was, by the way, just to let you know, HEXY Bastard, shout out to HEXY Bastard. Just to let you guys know. So this is what the crowd, this is what I'm reading from the crowd, okay? 9-inch, BBC, and PoorPleb were considered one of the examples that PulseChain influencers, maxis, Richard Hart lover types, okay? It was the example they would use in terms of telling their audience, stay away from meme coins. This guy is holidaying with your money. It makes no value. Do you see? It was such an obvious outrage marketing copycat of Richard Hart. That's what they were saying. Okay, I disagree. It was so obvious just because Mr. HEXY Bastard's like that, friends. He's actually was doing that kind of before. He's kind of like naturally like that. It's kind of like, you know, the Poms are like that. Okay, it's also true to meme coin people. You need that. So they were using that as an example. They were always using that example in terms of like warning people. Hey, stay away. Look what happens. They run away with your money. They do this. They do that. Then it turns out you just see PoorPleb rocketing, BBC rocketing, 9-inch rocketing. These things actually like starting to smash up. HEXY Bastard comes back, advancing 9-inch, making updates. Everything I said would happen, man. So now they don't have anything to lean on besides, oh crap, I guess market cap does matter. So the most important part to look at, friends, is this, I guess, combined market cap, which I always talk to you about. So a lot of people, friends, a lot of people get upset if you combine EHEX and PHEX. They don't like me talking about it. I don't know why. Get over it. I'm going to do whatever I want, okay? So, yeah, I'm going to combine the EHEX and PHEX price 1 cent. If you want to remove EHEX, then it looks worse for you. You're down even worse because you're considering it to be zero. But if you add up all the coins, friends, total Richard Hart ecosystem is about 2.8 to 2.6 billion. It's around here. So it's kind of actually funny. We are smaller than DickWifButt by itself. So this is pretty much where we are. We're around optimism. So we're around optimism, and how you can find that out, friends, you go to GoPulse and you can add up all these market caps, the non-origin address as a rough measure. So you can have like, there's 2 billion here, And now you have about 2.6, 2.7 billion. So it's kind of funny to see that. Now, why I brought that to your attention, friends, play some nice gentle angel music for that. You got to think, some people might say, I know some people thinking, well, does that mean that we're really, really, really undervalued because DickWifButt and Optimism are the same size as us? No, man, the market's been saying for a while, we aren't undervalued compared to we're actually where we should be. That's pretty much it. So what was undervalued though were the meme coins and altcoins on crypto. But friends, not most of the sacrifice projects. Okay, not most of them. Not the ones where, because they've all been bleeding against Pulse. Okay, not all of them, but they will have a chance to come back. A lot of the Tangang meme coins, a lot of the smaller ones as well, yes, they're cheap. But the ones that start at big bloated valuations, they're the ones that the markets, they're also expensive. But it makes sense, right? Because all the people who could participate in them, they did it back in 2021 when everything was much higher, okay? I also want to continue here to tell you, right? So market cap matters, you already know this, okay? Now, interesting, friends, there are some comments I'm not going to show you here, but I'll actually go through. So if you want to know what people really want to say to Richard Hart, you go to this thread by Mr. Dipcatcher, all right? And you see what they're saying to Mr. Dipcatcher, and you just replace the reply to Richard Hart, all right? And it would reveal exactly what they want to say. For example, look at this guy, Mr. Chadley Chad. Considering how Gofurs went, I wouldn't listen to much of what you have to say. So this is pretty much, this person would be saying to Richard Hart, considering how the past 3 years of Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX, and not being a bear market hedge, and getting crushed against Bitcoin, and you tweeting minus 85% down EHEX, considering that, I'm not going to listen to anything you say. That's what that person would be saying. But friends, remember in altcoins, any crypto community, right, you can't talk about the leader. So that's why they don't. Friends, by the way, this is not unique to PulseChain community. I see this in Cardano, XRP, even Bitcoin and Ethereum, friends. This happens literally every single way. In Bitcoin, by the way, you're not allowed to speak about Michael Saylor. Most people, they're not allowed to. And if they are, they get heavily criticized, okay? So this is the thing, right? Look, this is another Richie guy. Golden words, when you fudded PulseChain to pump your Soylana launch, which is wrecked. Now you come back to PulseChain with the tail behind your legs. Friends, this is what will people be saying, Richard? Like, okay, you disappeared, all your streaming's done, we all go to zero, the talking points don't work, and now we just end up buying Ethereum to come back in. You see what I mean, friends? It's literally copy-paste with the same thing. This is the actual crowd. That's why I never take anything personal, friends, when everyone speaks to me, because I know you're just speaking to people's emotions as they look at their portfolio right then and there. And then you have Mr. John Moss here saying, my investment into your project on both PulseChain and Soy is wrecked. Held when everyone else is selling, and now look at your chart. So this is literally, friends, remind you of anything? Remind you of Hex price chart, down 98.5%. If you include EHEX and PHEX, is against BTC. So do you see, friends, this is literally, it's the same thing everywhere. No one is specially unique. So why did I show you that? It's because I see it all the time, over and over. And I want you to know, there is no right or wrong. Just like how I ask you, hey, is being 15-year-old as a human, is that the right age or the wrong age? Yeah, I don't know. It's the right age for experimenting with life. It is the wrong age if you want to start a family. See what I mean? So it's the same thing with crypto. What's the wrong or the right or whatever? So a lot of people, though, what they'll try to tell you is always be happy, always have a great attitude, always do this and always do that. Friends, those people end up being literal psychopaths. Those are the people who they only see one view, and then when something shakes them up, they end up going schizo, they get manic depressant, they got to be on like antidepressants or something actually like sends them over the cliff. They do a rug pull and they disappear. Okay, these people are like always like positive, 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 positive. No, man. Actually, the science have done studies, right? People who have this cautious, optimistic, but cautious skepticism of life, they're the ones who end up getting through. You know why? Because you see everything in life, friends, you are trending up. But when things get too excited, you think twice. When things get really bad, you're like, you know what? I've been through this before. Yeah, it feels sucks, but oh well. And you move through it. Okay, you're accepting reality for what it is. People who are like always up and up and up and up and everything's going to be great. Constantly. They're the people, when adversity comes, friends, they run away. Okay, these people, they are not good for times of war. They're like more like peace people. But do you really want them, friends? Because you know crypto has these vicious cycles up and down of these FUD. You don't really want to be listening to these people. So I guess at the end of the day, we can just enjoy this cute DickWifButt with his popcorn and his PulseChain logo. So you've learned a lot today, right? Like, subscribe, bell button, and I'll catch you soon.